Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. Every fortnight, I also share guest conversations with experts passionate about the future of our home, health and the planet, which will provide you with actionable takeaways to create a more organised and happy life. Today on the podcast, I'm talking with Jenna from Ironic Minimalist. She's a slow fashion stylist who's an advocate for sustainable alternatives, such as pre-loved, vintage and clothing made from sustainable practices. She is talking with us around tips to create a more sustainable wardrobe, and she also shares with us how she did a year wardrobe freeze. This conversation is a video recording that you can also watch on YouTube. Let's jump into this Simply Happy guest conversation. Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. Every fortnight, I also share guest conversations with experts passionate about the future of our home, health, and the planet, which will provide you with actionable takeaways to create a more organised and happy life. So today on Simply Happy Conversations, I'm talking with Jenna from Ironic Minimalist. She is the slow fashion stylist who's a real advocate for sustainable alternatives in clothing. And today she is going to be providing tips to help you create a more sustainable wardrobe. Welcome, Jenna.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, no, thank you so much for making the time to come and chat with us about things that you're really passionate about and also have a lot of knowledge around as well.
No worries, anytime.
So tell us a little bit, just so we can get to know you, tell us about if you were a Barbie doll, what two accessories would you come with?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I guess I definitely come with a bag and some shoes because I like bags and shoes. And then I guess all my clothing would be secondhand. But yeah, I definitely come with like some really cute sort of bag that I have like, lots of options, I guess. That's being a Barbie doll, you have lots of options. I guess I just have fun with fashion as a Barbie doll,
Yeah, gorgeous. I love that. And it show your personality, isn't it? The things that you're into, especially having that, the secondhand, pre-loved, vintage sort of fashion your Barbie doll came with.
Exactly.
So if you were to have me come and work as a professional organizer with you, what area then do you think you need support with? What bit are you a hot mess with in your life?
Maybe the kitchen. I always want someone to go dig through my kitchen and sort it out. I think that'd be fun because my clothes are pretty good. I'm happy with my clothes, but the kitchen's, always a source of frustration sometimes when you can't find the right spice.
Yeah. Do you like cooking as well?
Sometimes, I prefer someone else to cook for me, of course, but I don't mind, getting in there sometimes.
And that makes a difference too. When the things are organised, then you're more inclined to go, oh, look, everything's here. Then I want to go and cook this lovely meal because I've got everything on hand. I'm not running out to the shops to grab it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that. Help you with the pantry. I love pantries. They're really fun to do. So tell us about your strengths. So what you bring to slow fashion as a stylist, what are some of the strengths that make your whole service unique? And maybe even tell us a little bit about some of the service, what you do.
So I am a personal stylist. I haven't done personal styling in a while because I've sort of moved into more speaking events. So I go and help councils with their like green living series or something like that. And I just talk about sustainable fashion. But I think I like really easygoing. Like, if someone's like, well, I can't do that, I'm like, well, here's some other options. So I'm always like happy to provide another option, I guess, quite flexible in that case. And I also don't really care if you don't care about fashion. Like, you don't have to be passionate to make a change with fashion or with anything, as a matter of fact. But I think just like, yeah, I'm pretty easygoing and I'm pretty like happy to like, chat different things and find different solutions and find workarounds for, whatever the issue is. So yeah, I guess like that.
Oh, that sounds really great. And so tell us about though, because I did read about your walking, like helping some people with a walking tour type thing into the op shops, which sounded really fascinating. So tell us a little bit about the work that you have been doing more recently.
So I did a little walking tour of Sydney Road in Brunswick, and as if anyone's ever been to that stretch of road, there are like 10 million op shops along there. So I work with the council, and I also work with the school to do like a little sort of walking tour, and we visited some op shops. But I think the main point of like going to Sydney Road is that like there's op shops like Salvos and Vinnies and that sort of thing. But then there's also like little places that sell secondhand goods that aren't op shops. So like consignment stores, and then there's also other stores that are like selling ethically made clothing. It's just a really nice sort of hub. So if you can't find something at the op shop and you don't find anything at the consignment store, then you might find something at the like, you know, the real shop with the ethical brands. But basically I just like when I help people showcase the options, like show them the options that are there, you know, how to find really good things at the op shop, how to sell your clothing in a consignment store, get to know some ethical brands so you can find them in op shops and consignment stores. But yeah, I just basically like helping anyone with sustainable fashion questions, basically.
Oh, so do you have a couple of favorite fashion labels at the moment, the eco-friendly like labels that you would recommend?
One of my favorites is actually this top I'm wearing is by a brand called Arnsdorf. Unfortunately, they're closing down, sadly, but they make really nice, beautiful, basic pieces. Actually, a lot of the brands I like are closing down, sadly.
Oh, no.
I guess it's just the, you know, where we are at the moment. But I know they've got, you know, bigger and better things to go forth. There's also Koto. They're not closing down, luckily. Koto is a New Zealand brand that does beautifully made garments out of organic cotton. And they've actually just created a whole plastic-free collection. So there's no plastic thread, there's no plastic buttons. They're entirely plastic-free, which is like one of the like a huge milestone with fashion, because a lot of things are quite plastic in like the threads and the tags and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. And I'll definitely put links to that so people can check out the different labels and also look for them in their op shops and anywhere else, consignment stores. So tell us a little bit about consignment stores though.
Okay.
Because I know you already work for one as well.
I do. So I work at Mutual Muse in Brunswick. Like technically it's not a consignment store, but it's sort of the same deal. So basically people bring their clothing in and we take a look and we're like, okay, we like this one. So we'll pop some prices on them. And then we offer them cash or store credit. So it's 30% cash direct deposit or 50% store credit. But basically, I think with consignment stores, it's a nice balance between like op shops where you can sometimes be, you know, overrun with secondhand fast fashion and lots of polyester pieces. But it's also a nice, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to find those good brands that you like. So say you like Koto, but you see it and it's like $200 and you're like, oh, I can't quite do that. Then you might find it at a place like Mutual Muse or Goodbyes or Swap for like $80 or something. So, you know, you're getting quite a bargain. You're getting your favorite brand and you're getting it quite cheap. But then also if you are sick of your clothing, you can sell it onwards. So it's just a really nice way to keep those clothing in the circularity and also find things you like cheaper and also not go through all that fast fashion at the op shop.
Yeah, that is a big problem because I see it myself when I'm decluttering someone's wardrobe. You know, there is a lot of fast fashion and taking that to op shops is like how much of that is actually going to be put onto the, you know, stand and sold and which ones are just, you know, going into landfill, which is really sad.
Sadly, a lot of clothing is actually sold at op shops most of the time. I know that I remember reading a stat once where they said that they spend like over $5,000 sending stuff to landfill. And that's stuff that like, you know, it's got holes or it's disgusting or like, you know, it's the odd sock. Like they can't sell that. So they're going to have to send it to landfill, unfortunately. I know some op shops do have ties with recycling companies, but it's still a lot of effort to send it to places like that.
Oh, definitely. And I know for me in Geelong area, we actually have our recycle place is actually taking cottons and threads and things like that and you know, clothing pieces that are broken and things like that, which is great. Yeah, it's really good.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Keep it in the loop.
Yeah. So it's not actually going into our rubbish, into our landfill. So what about for you? What has been one of the toughest decisions that you've had to make when it comes to maybe around your business or even personally? Up to you.
Gosh. I don't know. I think deciding not to do personal styling anymore was like, I love doing personal styling. I love working with people, but because I do work, I work part-time and then I also do like the talking events with councils and I also work with the clothing exchange. I just sort of ran out of time and it can be a lot of effort to work with someone on a basis, like one-on-one basis. I also don't have a car. So like, I can't really like drive somewhere and help them that sort of way because I have to tram there, and it takes quite a while to get anywhere on trams here. So I think I'd rather, it was, I didn't really want to say no to personal styling, but in the end I sort of had to sort of cut that loose. But I also rather, speak to a large group of people and have them like, they might find a friend within that group of people and be like, oh, I'm doing the same thing as you. Let's support each other, or let's host a clothing swap together. So I think I'd rather plant the seed for many people rather than just one person.
Yeah, definitely. It's making a bigger change, isn't it? By
Exactly.
having a bigger audience and sharing the education that needs to be shared out there, because a lot of people don't understand or realize, the things around fast fashion.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn. So that's why it's good to plant the seed and then hope people sort of, research and find their own way to what their values are for sustainable fashion. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what about for you when you're thinking as an expert and you're passionate about the future of the planet, of like our houses as well, because we want to cut the clutter in our houses? What are some actionable things that people could do to create a more sustainable wardrobe for themselves?
I think start with what you have. Like, you already own it. You already purchased it. Why go and make a whole other wardrobe that is from ethical brands when you've already got the things? That's the most sustainable choice, is the one you already have, basically. So I think start where you are and see what you have. I also did a year of no shopping. So I didn't buy any clothing.
You have to tell us about that. Yes.
I didn't buy any clothing for a whole year, and I didn't die. I survived. So a lot of people think that it's not possible to go a whole year without buying things, but you can do it, even if you work in a consignment store or some sort of shop. So I think also maybe just do a wardrobe freeze for maybe a month or something. Just stop what's coming in and assess what you have, and then you can be more choosy with what you actually need. So a lot of people are always buying the same thing for their wardrobe. They're like, oh, white tees on special, let's buy another white tee. And they get it home and they've got 12 white tees. Well, you don't really need that many. So maybe you can be like, all right, well, I really need pants. Let's put some energy into finding pants that fit me, because all these ones are too short, they're too small, they've got holes in them. Instead of buying the white tee over and over again, we can identify what we're missing and put our energy into that and just focus on that one thing, and then slowly work our way until we've got a wardrobe that we love.
Yeah, which is a great tip, that like looking at what you do, because I find that I'll have clients and it's generally the black long sleeves and white tees, and there'll be 10 of them, or a shirt and it's in the same blue color, and it's because we're attracted to that when we go shopping, but we think we need another one, but actually do we? No, not at all. No.
It doesn't cost you any money to stop shopping. It saves you money. So, there's no excuse. Just stop for a month, see what you've got, and you'll find that you probably don't need to buy as much as you thought you did.
Yeah. And then do you find then that when you have done that yourself, but also with clients you've worked with, and even the feedback from when you did it, did you find that people were then like, oh, I actually then started to look at my wardrobe and wear things that I had not thought about wearing for a long time?
Yeah, people find all sorts of stuff in their wardrobe and they're like, oh, I never wore this because of whatever reason, but now I actually really like it, and I saw it on Cool Person the other day, so I'm going to wear it like this, and now I don't need to buy one because I had it already. So it's just like, kind of like discovering a whole side of your wardrobe that you keep missing because you keep going out and buying things rather than looking at what you already own. It's like, trying to find, the measuring cups inside the drawer of junk. Like, you need measuring cups, but you can't find them. So you just go buy another pair. Yeah. My mum always used to buy scissors all the time because she could never find scissors. And then when we finally moved her out of her house, we had like 15 pairs of scissors. So she obviously had a problem with scissors. But just like looking at what you have rather than trying to buy a whole new wardrobe all the time. And when seasons change, look at what you've got, see what you can layer, and be like, okay, I really need a coat or I'm going to freeze, go find that coat.
Yeah. So tell us about the wardrobe freeze. What sort of initiated that? And also, what did you find good and bad about it?
So it was a whole year. So all of last year, I basically did it because I saw this person called Ethically Kate on Instagram. She was doing a wardrobe freeze for the year before, so 2022. And I was like, oh, I don't think I could do that. But then as I watched her progress through the year, I'm like, I think I should do this. And I started looking, because I track how much I spend on clothing and I track what I buy and where it goes. And I was like, I'm starting to spend a lot on clothing, but I'm getting rid of it really fast. So because I work in a consignment store, I take clothing there after a few wears and, get some store credit for it or cash. So like keeping in the loop, but I was going too fast. I was starting to treat my slow wardrobe like fast fashion. So I knew I had to sort of stop, and I knew I had to make it hard for myself because it's so easy to spend money. So I decided I'd do it for a whole year. I thought, if Ethically Kate can do it, I can do it. I was a little bit scared because I do work in, the fashion industry. It's my job. It's my love. But I was like, if I can at least do it for a month, then I know I've made progress. But I managed to do it for the whole year. And it was really empowering to say, no, thank you. Like, oh, this amazing coat just came in. No, thank you. That's it. No, thank you. And it was really nice, like towards the middle of the year when the seasons changed, it got pretty boring because I was wearing the same thing over and over again. But I'm okay with that. It's not too bad. And then towards the end, I was getting really excited because I knew I could buy again. It's sort of when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm just doing this to save money. But then towards the end, I was like, I think I'm doing this to experiment with my style again. Like I'm getting bored. I want to try new styles, new colors, new textures, new fabrics. And that's what I've been bringing forward into this year. But it was really surprising that I could actually do it.
Oh, no, I think it's amazing. It's a great initiative to try for everyone to even do it for a month, 2 months and see what you can achieve.
I've spoke to other people who've done it and they were like, it's the best thing I ever did. Like just stopping and pausing. Like I know you couldn't do it with food because you need to eat, but clothing is quite like a fun, frivolous thing most of the time. So it's really good to just pause and find your style again with what you already own. And then you can also start taking notes and be like, all right, well, I really need black pants to wear with this sort of thing, or I really need a coat because this one's full of holes. And then again, you can channel your energy into finding those perfect things.
Yeah. And I think that was what, for me, that last year, I'd sort of followed some other people similar to you, and I was like, right, I'm going to make a difference. And I'd heard statistics about jeans and how much, and I was like, that's it. I'm not going to buy a brand new pair of jeans at all this year. And I bought all my work jeans and all my like weekend jeans, all secondhand off Marketplace or, at a consignment store. And they're still going. So I'm like, okay, we'll just keep going. So it was like a little step. It wasn't quite the whole wardrobe, but it was like, okay, so now this year, what are the things can I do just to make that bit of a difference rather than just always going straight to the shop to buy things?
Yeah, it's just those little steps that make the change. You don't have to overhaul everything. It's just slowly plodding towards your end goal. And I bet those jeans are more comfortable than all the other shop jeans
for sure.
as well.
Yeah, they were great. And that's the thing. I did go into the shop. I did try them on. I knew what size I was looking for. And then I just went onto Marketplace, put in the search, what brand and the size, and just waited until they popped up. And I was surprised that 2 of them I bought within my local area. So, there was no shipping or anything. And the other 2 I got shipped, and it was within Australia. So that was great. It was
exactly right. That's what you do. You go to the shop, try on the sizes, and then you can buy them. One thing I did find about my wardrobe freeze is like I made a wish list of all the things I wanted to buy during the year. And a lot of those pieces have actually ended up back at work. So they've come right back around into work. And I'm like, oh, here they are now, but I don't want them. So it's funny to see how much styles do actually shift around in the fashion industry. Really interesting.
And so what have you noticed like this year coming through then for yourself? What's some of the other changes that you've noticed? Like, are you more into looking at sort of, pieces that might match what you've already got? Or is there any other changes that you've noticed?
I've been more creative. So like before I didn't have jeans, but now I have a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
I've been trying different styles and different cuts and colors just to experiment. I obviously have the privilege of working in the consignment store, so I can, have a lot more freedom with trying things. I've been leaning more towards like the 90s styling at the moment.
Yeah.
Cute little sort of vintage bags and that sort of thing. But I think I just overall I just allowed myself to experiment. And I obviously, watching my money sort of thing. But I've also noticed that I've been really strict on what I do bring into my wardrobe. Like I sit on it for quite a few days. Like there's things in my watch list that have been there for 2 months or something. Instead of like buying whatever I can find, I really wait for things. So I wanted a pair of shoes and I waited a whole 2 months or something, and I finally found them on Depop. So like just waiting, like I know it takes time, but they will come. Like they will come around. Everyone has this cycle of getting rid of their items, so you can always snatch it up.
Oh, definitely. And I completely the same thing. I did shoes as well last year, and it was the same thing because people buy them on sale, then they don't actually fit them. They're not allowed to send them back and return. So then they put them on Depop or Facebook Marketplace and sell them for secondhand reduced price, which is a great way to grab a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So much better.
So if people wanted to reach out to you and get in contact, what's the best place that they can come and meet you, catch up with you, contact you?
So you can find me on Instagram as Ironic Minimalist. That's where I'm most active. I am at the Brunswick Mutual Muse there, but like, some days when I work. But I think, what is it? Instagram is the best place to find me under Ironic Minimalist, as I'm, always on there. I think is the best place. TikTok is a bit too scary for me at the moment. Too fast.
Yes, it is too fast, isn't it? I've got it there, but it is too fast. My kids are the ones who sort of help me with that. Jenna, thank you so much for your time and all of the wisdom that you've shared today, and just inspiring people to look at their wardrobe and look at their spending as well and think about the environment and the planet and our future. So thank you so much.
No worries. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. If you'd like to reduce your paper and digital clutter and free yourself from the overwhelm of clutter so that you can claim back time and space to enjoy the things you love, head over to simplyhappy.com.au in the resource section and grab the declutter checklist and start to reduce your clutter even with small amounts of time. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.